the Nera 10. Who really are these Nera 10? Those of us who have interacted with them from afar and in different public occasions, we have described these 10 gentlemen, we have described these 10 individuals as gentlemen, noble, humanitarian, people with status. Why then would two governments conspire to make injustice on these gentlemen? It's a question that only the government of Nigeria and the dictatorial regime of Yaounde can answer. But we would like to get a view or from those who have interacted with them at close range, not just like those of us who have seen their works and their actions in the community and around us. How about those who lived and dined with them every day? We have heard their wives come on public and tell us who really their husbands are. But sometimes children just have a different way of looking at the parents in a way that no one else can see. This is the story or the impression that Kimeng Brian, the son to one of the abductee, who misses his dad now for over 365 days and has definitely become a victim of this conspiracy. His life is not the same like it was with his dad around, and this is one of the extension of the injustice which today the Justice for Nera 10 campaign is decrying. And we're inviting you to listen to Kimeng Brian Tata, and you would get the human relation, the family relation, and who actually, particularly Dr. Kimeng Henry is, and it is the same for the rest of the Nera 10, whose families and their children continue to miss them now for over 365 days. Same with other thousands of Southern Cameroonian families in the dungeons of La République du Cameroun. Brian, who is Dr. Henry Kimeng Tata?
Hi, Professor Kimeng Henry Tata is my dad. He's a loving man and a great father, someone I look up to, someone I would want to be like when I'm older, because I have seen my dad over the years do a lot of charitable deeds. He has helped families, friends, and relatives, distant and near, and people that are not necessarily related to us in various aspects of life. He is someone I want to really emulate as I go. And over the years recently, due to the upcoming the recent crisis in Cameroon, my dad and a group of colleagues came together, and they have been providing aid for the refugees that are situated in Nigeria. He is someone that will go through various lengths just to see that people are happy and with smiles on their face. I really, really miss my dad, because he has been gone for over a year, and I have been alone, and I really want him to come back, because we all miss him here. He loves his job, he had a job here, and he loves his family. Someone that will go through lengths to see that his family is happy. We really miss him and love him. Professor Kimeng Henry, stay strong. We are praying for you to see that you go through this well. Keep up the good fight, and we will keep on fighting ourselves in this place. My name is Kimeng Brian Tata, Justice for the Nera 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, haven't heard from Brian and haven't listened to the rest of us Southern Cameroonians and Ambazonians talk about this Nera 10 and the rest of our families being held in the dungeons of La République du Cameroun. We would like to give you concrete evidence documented of who these Nera 10 really are. And it is the same for every family that you would find in the concentration camps of the dungeons of La République du Cameroun. Let's now get one of our angelic champions to present to you the profiles of the Nera 10.
Here we have a brief rundown of the profiles of the 10 Southern Cameroonian activists/refugees abducted in Nigeria and sent back to Cameroon. 1. Mr. Ngala Mfor. Mr. Mfor was born on December 31st, 1952 in Kop, Nkambe, in Donga-Mantun County, into the family of His Royal Highness Ta Mfor Ngala Tandap of blessed memory and Ma Winto Mbebu. He obtained a master's degree in political science from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria, in 1980. He was employed into the registry of the university and rose to the rank of senior assistant registrar and resigned to return home in 1986. At home, he was employed by the Ministry of Territorial Administration up until 1992. In 1998, he was the secretary of the UN Habitat Afrique Conference, hosted by ABU Zaria, with Professor Shwetfegawa of blessed memory as the chairman and General Mohamed Buhari, retired, as patron. He was a key member of the launching of the opposition party, Social Democratic Front, in Bamenda on May 26, 1990. He served the party in various capacities, including being chairman of the Constitutional and Political Affairs Committee up to 1999. Thereafter, he has dedicated his entire life and service to the pursuit of the restoration of his country, the Southern Cameroons, from foreign annexation by La République du Cameroun. His pursuit has been under the platform of the Southern Cameroon's National Council, SCNC, which he served in various positions, including being elected the national vice chairman in March 2000 and the chairman from 2014 to date. In his services for NCNC, he has embarked on several major diplomatic engagements across the globe and with many countries and agencies or organizations, too many to recount here, in his service to liberate the Southern Cameroons from annexation. In this struggle, he desires to liberate the country from annexation and subjugation. He has been arbitrarily arrested, tortured, detained, and tried on countless occasions. Following the illegal banning of the SCNC in January 2017, alongside the consortium, he moved to Nigeria, where he sought and obtained UNHCR protection as a refugee. Unfortunately, he and 11 others were kidnapped in Abuja, Nigeria, and 10 of them handed over to Cameroon under circumstances yet to be understood. Currently, he and 9 others are illegally detained in the Kondege prison, Principal, Yaounde, Cameroon. Number 2, Professor Che Augustin Awasum. Professor Awasum was born on 4th of May 1968 in Bamenda, Mezam County in the southern Cameroons, into the family of Pa Camillus Ndanji Awasum of blessed memory and Anastasia Ngwe Awasum. Professor Awasum is an erudite professor of surgery and researcher in the Department of Veterinary Surgery and Diagnostic Imaging at the Ahmadu Bello University, Abu Zaria, Nigeria. He is head of surgery unit of the department and the veterinary teaching hospital of the university. He is the postgraduate coordinator of the department. He is a member of the University Senate, apex academic body. He is a fellow of the College of Surgeons, Nigeria, one of the highest academies of surgery in Africa. In professional practice, he rose through the ranks from registrar, consultant, senior consultant to principal consultant surgeon in 2012. He is visiting scholar and chief external examiner to several universities nationally and internationally. In addition to holding a PhD in surgery on defective kidney urethral reconstruction by Monty mathematical model, he also holds a master's degree in surgery and 5 additional master's degrees in international affairs, diplomacy, criminal justice, law enforcement, and a postgraduate diploma in education, curriculum foundation, and psychology. He holds a doctorate degree in veterinary medicine, DVM. He has contributed over 110 articles in peer-reviewed journals, conferences, proceedings, and seminars at both national and international levels. He has co-authored several chapters in books/manuals in surgery. For his achievements in kidney transplants, he received recommendations from President Buhari, the then executive chairman of the Nigerian Petroleum Trust Funds, PTF, General Yakubu Gowon, former head of state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Also, he has been cited in 2002 in Who is in veterinary surgery from across the continents. He's making research breakthroughs in the area of elucidated animals as the forgotten victims of Boko Haram insurgency. He is recipient of several awards from civil societies, NGOs, and governments. He is a community servant, especially in the aspect of environmental health, public health, and philanthropy. As an activist right from the age of 17, he has been involved in party politics and the struggle for the emancipation of the Anglophone Cameroonian. He has been president and leader of several such advocacy groups, student unions, and civil societies. Alongside 11 others, he was abducted and detained in Defense Intelligence Agency (DIA) in Nigeria and illegally transported to La République du Cameroun, where he is a year old, incarcerated in the maximum principal prison awaiting trial at the military tribunal on over 23 count charges before Colonel Abega. He is a registered asylum seeker in Nigeria. He is married and a father of 1. Number 3, Dr. Cornelius Njikimbi Kwanga. Dr. Cornelius is from Boom in Boyo County of Ambazonia. Born in Womb on March 22, 1970, he is a third of 10 children of Pa Kwanga Samuel Khan and Mama Kwanga Priscilla Mbong. Dr. Cornelius is a researcher and senior lecturer of the Department of Economics, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University, Katsina, UMYU. He joined UMYU from Yobe State University, Damaturu, Nigeria, YSU. In YSU, he was one time the acting head of Department of Economics and later on appointed coordinator of research and innovation in the unit of the university. He has taught various economic courses to undergraduate and postgraduate students. Before engaging in full-time lecturing, he was one of the pioneering staff of United Bank of Africa, Cameroon, UBA, and served the bank in various capacities. He is the founder and promoter of Global Association for Sustainable Development, GASD, a rural-based CSO that fights against rural poverty. Dr. Cornelius, who is an apt coordinator and organizer, is also an advocate for the restoration of the independence of former Southern Cameroons. He is the Under-Secretary of State for Economy and Finance for the interim government of the federal government of Ambazonia. Apart from being a legal resident in Nigeria, he is also a UNHCR registered asylum seeker in Nigeria. On January 5, 2018, Dr. Cornelius and 11 others were abducted at gunpoint from Nera Hotel, Abuja, Nigeria, for no crime committed, and subsequently they became objects of trade between the federal government of Nigeria and the government of La République du Cameroun. Currently, Dr. Cornelius and 9 of his compatriots are being illegally detained in Kondengi, prison principal, Yaounde, Cameroon. He is married with 3 children. How sad. Number 4, Dr. Egbe Ogok. Dr. Egbe was born on March 3, 1964, to the family of late Pa Samuel Ntui Ogok and late Mrs. Lucy Ntor Ogok at Ekwele Village, Eyumojok, LGA, in Manu County of Ambazonia. Dr. Egbe Ogok Ntui is an associate professor of structural engineering in the Department of Civil Engineering, Bayero University, Kano, Nigeria. He has trained and graduated many students at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. He is a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, MNSE, and also a member of Materials Society of Nigeria, MMSN. He has been the president and patron of many associations, including the Cameroon Community in Nigeria, Kano chapter. He is also an advisor for Justice and Peace Committee of St. Peter's Catholic Church, Janguza Military Barracks, Kano, Nigeria. He is an advocate for the self-determination of Southern Cameroonians and a member of the Restoration Council of Ambazonia. He is married and has 1 child. Number 5, Dr. Fidelis Ndeche. Dr. Fidelis earned his doctorate degree in electrical/electronic engineering from the City University in London in 1996 when he was 25 years old. In the same year, he joined an IT consulting firm in California and worked there for 5 years, during which he was engaged in over 30 projects across the United States, Asia, and Africa in various capacities as principal consultant, project manager, and project director. In 2001, he founded Quantec Technology Services Limited and grew it to a leading ICT consulting and system integrations firm in Nigeria with over 150 employees and an annual revenue in excess of $3 million. In 2012, he joined the American University of Nigeria, where he served in various capacities as assistant professor, program chair, chief of staff to the president, executive director, institutional research and effectiveness, executive manager of projects and proposals, Vice Chair of Institutional Review Board. He teaches master's, MBA, and PhD courses in computer science, software engineering, information systems, and ICT for development. Dr. Cornelius was a member of the Adamawa Peace Initiative, API, supporting over 270,000 IDPs displaced by the Boko Haram conflict between 2012 and 2016 through feeding, agriculture, sports, psychological interactions, and other intervention programs. Dr. Cornelius also introduced numerous community intervention programs that impacted the lives of over 15,000 beneficiaries in the vulnerable and undeserved communities in Yola and Jemita, Nigeria, including JAM tutoring and adult literacy. For over 8 years between 2009 and 2018, Dr. Cornelius was a member of Board of Directors of Prawa, a leading NGO in Nigeria involved in the justice sector reform, speeding up access to justice, reducing recidivism, and training police and security agencies on human rights and torture preventions and redress. Dr. Cornelius was also chairman of the board of directors of Afrinvest West Africa, a leading financial service firm providing independent financial advisory, wealth management, brokerage, and investment banking. Number 6, Sir Sisiku Ayok Tabe Julius. Sir Tabe was born on May 2nd, 1965 in Kembong, son of late Aliuk Elias and of late Ojong Paulina. Sir Julius is the Pioneer Chief Information Officer, CIO, and successively Assistant Vice President in charge of digital services and marketing and recruitment in the American University of Nigeria, AUN, Yola. He worked extensively with Sonel, electricity distribution company in Cameroon, where he improved energy efficiency in the Adamawa region, and he also deployed a customer management application for the company. He also worked with Cisco as Academy Manager for 23 countries in West and Central Africa until he joined the American University of Nigeria. As an IT expert, he voluntarily designed and developed an application for the Cameroon GCE board for the automation of operations of the examination. Sir Julius is a motivational speaker and has done so in many conferences across the globe. Sir Julius, with his wife, Lillian Ayok Tabe, founded the Ayok Tabe Foundation, ATAB, that empowers the poor in his Eyumejok local government area of the southern zone of Ambazonia. He is also a member of the Adamawa Peacemakers Initiative, API, to support the internally displaced in northern Nigeria. His academy at Budumbura refugee camp in Ghana won the International Academy Award Against All Odds in Europe. He was the chairman of the Governing Council of the Southern Cameroons / Ambazonia Consortium United Front, SCACUF, and was later nominated as the president of the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Alongside 11 others, he was abducted at Nera Hotel, Abuja, Nigeria, and traded across international borders to Cameroon, where he is presently held incommunicado in the Kondingi Maximum Security Prison, Yaounde, Cameroon. With wife Lillian, Sisiko has a 40-hectare farm known as ATAB Farms at the Iumejok with 28 workers who unfortunately were driven out of the farm on the 29th of September 2017 by the Cameroon military forces. The farm has thus been abandoned since then. He is married with 4 children. So sad, so sad. Number 7, Deacon Tassang Wilfred Fombang. Deacon Tassang was born on February 2nd, 1970 in Bamenda. He's a son of Tassang Isaiah and Alice Akwi. Deacon Tassang is a college teacher and the former Executive Secretary General of the Cameroon's Teachers Trade Union, CATU. He is also the Programs Director of the Cameroon Anglophone Civil Society Consortium, CACSC, aka the Consortium. He was the lead negotiator and spokesman for the Anglo-Saxon Universities, Secondary and Basic Education, Parents and Teachers Union, Public and Private, within the framework of the Education Ad Hoc Committee set up to proffer solutions to problems plaguing the English system of education as raised by the Teachers Union. Deacon Tassang miraculously survived 2 assassination attempts on January 13 and January 17, 2017. He escaped to Nigeria in February 2017, from where he firmly endorsed the movement for the restoration of the statehood of Southern Cameroon. He was unanimously elected Secretary General of the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonian Consortium United Front, SCACUF, and later Vice Chair of the SCACUF Council. Secretary for Education in the interim government, as Secretary for Education in the interim government, Deacon Tassang was abducted from the garden of Nera Hotel, Abuja, Nigeria, on January 5, 2018, and handed over to the Yaounde junta on January 25, 2018, alongside 9 others. He is yet to be charged, but Yaounde has labeled him terrorist, cessationist, etc., and risks several death sentences if the International Committee does not clamp down firmly on Yaounde. The father of 4 has since then been held incommunicado and has not heard from his wife and kids. Number 8, His Royal Highness Shufai Barrister Blaise Sevizim Berignon. His Royal Highness Shufai Blaise is a traditional ruler of Mbu, Bafocho village, and Tobin Nso in the northern zone of Ambazonia. He was born on April the 25th, 1967 at Kumbo Nso to Sebastien Lawon Berignon of blessed memory and Benedicta Shegan Berignon. He is a barrister at law of the Cameroon Bar Association and a frontline human rights lawyer. He has been legal advisor of many human rights organizations, including Justice and Peace Commission of Catholic Diocese of Boya and Kumbo, the Human Rights Defense Group, Action by Christians for the Abolition of Torture, Cameroon Association for Rights of the Child. He is also founder and president of Advocates for human rights and environmental conservation. Also, founder of BOD, chair of Bernier Women Development Cooperative Society. In the struggle for the restoration of Ambazonia, Shufai Blaise has been a household name since 1992, especially in the legal domain. Barrister Shufai Blaise is a Catholic Christian and married to Wiba Nyoidin Jacqueline Banfoga, and they have 4 children. Number 9, Barrister Yaounde Elias Ebai. Barrister Yaounde is a barrister at law of the Cameroon Bar Association since 1996, with keen interest in human rights advocacy. He was born on the 19th of June, 1969 in Manyemen to Zonguti Jose, of blessed memory, and of Zonguti Ann Babi. He was the president of the Memel Lawyers Association, MELA, and the vice secretary of the Cameroon Anglophone Civil Society Consortium. In 2017, he sought and was granted refugee status by UNHCR in Nigeria, following his persecution by the government of La République du Cameroun for his political ideology for the self-determination of the people of Southern Cameroon, aka Ambazonia. He was the ambassador to the African Union of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonian Governing Council, SCACOF. He was also appointed ambassador to the AU and Africa by the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. He was abducted from Nera Hotel, Abuja, alongside 11 others on January 5, 2018. He is presently languishing in jail in Kondengi, Yaounde, Cameroon. He is married with 5 children. This hurts. Parents. Oh, Jesus. Number 10, Dr. Henry Tata Kimeng. Dr. Henry is an associate professor of civil engineering, Department of Civil Engineering, Ahmadu Bello University, Zara, Nigeria. He was born on the 12th of July, 1967 at Alabukang, Mankon, to Mrs. Agnes Jije Kimeng of blessed memory and late Fai Ngankofo Ni Kimeng Jonas Ndi, who was a sub-chief in Ba Nwagri village in Donga Mantun County, Northwest Region. He is married to Dr. Florence Azi Kimeng Ne Mbu, who holds a PhD in microbiology from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and Doctor of Medicine from Windsor University School of Medicine, St. Kitts. They are blessed with a 19-year-old son, Brian T. Kimeng, a final year student in the Department of Architecture, Abu Zaria. Dr. Kimeng is an erudite scholar and teacher and has published several papers in local and international journals and conference proceedings. He has also won several prizes and awards for his research works. Holcim International Switzerland awarded him and some colleagues a prize for their research work on recycled agricultural waste for producing particle boards in 2011. And Ahmadu Bello University Zaria followed up in 2012, recognizing him as one of their outstanding researchers in the past 50 years during the Golden Jubilee celebration of the university. As a consultant engineer, he has consulted for several organizations designed and built large buildings, cities, and roads all over Nigeria. He has also consulted for National Space Research and Development Agency, Abuja, Nigeria, Abucon's Zaria, Gamji Nigeria Limited, among many other firms. As a philanthropist, he has provided scholarships, financial assistance, and help to many students from Southern Cameroun, Nigeria, Chad, Niger, Liberia, and other countries. He also led the campaign in 2017 to create awareness for the Southern Cameroonians who were plundered, robbed, and chased from their homeland into exile in neighboring Nigeria by the brutal La République du Cameroun gendarmes. He provided them with financial assistance, accommodation, and food to those he visited in the refugee camps. In 2017, he was nominated the coordinator of Amazonian refugees in Nigeria. With the Health and Social Services team, he carried out the assignment diligently and faithfully. He was abducted together with 11 other Amazonian leaders on January 5, 2018, by a group of armed men at Nera Hotel's garden, Abuja, Nigeria, and detained in a bunker at Defense Information Agency, DIA, Abuja. They were later moved by night in a military cargo plane and kept incommunicado for 6 months without access to sunlight. They were later allowed 30 minutes of access to sunlight and family on a few days for 4 months. Presently, they are in Kondengi Principal Maximum Security Prison, Yaounde, Cameroon. He had just completed a tour of the refugee camps in Cross River State and Akwa Ibom State, where, on behalf of the interim government, he organized Christmas and New Year parties with Amazonian refugee kids in various camps. His neighbors, friends, students, colleagues, and the entire Amazonian communities in Zaria and elsewhere miss him greatly. Join our teams of sympathizers all over the world to request for their unconditional release. Join the Justice for Nera 10 campaign so our leaders can be set free. Thank you.
Many years have passed, still feel the air. Many nights and days, still feel the pain. When the dark cloud covered the faces of the earth, and suicide became an option to be free. Human blood became the color of rainbow, and children couldn't sing Latido. There was a birth of many diseases, anti-epidemic and defeat, and yet some people haven't dropped their guns. Them still